Here.
Gingell,
Here.
Gershenson.
Here.
Jackson, McGillivray, Cavell, and Joliet are all absent with notice. Nelson,
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join me in rising for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item is approving the minutes from April 11, 2023. A motion by Commissioner Gershenson, support from Commissioner Gingell. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Next is approving our agenda. I have a motion by Commissioner Powell.
Not motion, I got a question.
Oh, you have a question. What's your question?
There were other items and one was pertaining to a sheriff position in the city of Pontiac, with our sheriff office, and I don't see it there. I just wanted, for the record, to know what happened and why it's not there anymore, per the chair.
That item was an item scheduled to be effective July 1st, and looking for more information from the unions and the sheriff. Is this the item?
Yeah,
where-
that's the item I'm talking about.
Yes, we're looking for more information, so it'll be back on the agenda, but not today.
Thank you.
All right. We need an approval for the agenda. A motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Gershenson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. We move on to our first public comment. This is for comment on items on the agenda. Is there anyone from the public wishing to comment? All right, public comment is closed. Communications is next. There are 3 items under communications. The first is from the Animal Shelter Intake Disposition Report. The second is an application to the State Court Administrative Office for the fiscal year 2024 Michigan Veterans Treatment Court Grant Program. And the third is an application to the State Court Administrative Office for the fiscal year 2024 Michigan DWI Sobriety Court Grant Program. Any, Commissioner Nelson?
Just gonna make a motion.
Oh, thank you. I have a motion to approve the communications, support from Commissioner Gershenson. Any comments on communications? All right, prompt the vote, please.
You have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
All right, communications are approved. We move on to our district court recommendations. There are 3 items. The first is from the 52nd 4th District Court in Troy, an application to the State Court Administrative Office for the fiscal year 2024 Michigan Drug Court Grant Program. Who would like to make I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Gershenson, and we have Patricia Bates here to speak to this item.
I'm here.
Welcome. Anything you want to add about this item?
No, this is repeats. This is our, I believe, 10th year with the program, and we've been requesting a grant funding for staffing and testing, treatment. We also have a emotional freedom tapping technique that we present to our participants. So just a repeat. I did ask for a bit more in travel and training this year because we would like to step up our game in our program.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this item? Do you want to prompt the vote now or? Okay. We'll go with this one. Okay. All right, next item is from the 52nd 1st District Court in Novi. Another application to the state for the Michigan Drug Court Grant Program. Who would like to make a motion? We have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Gershenson. And we have Alexandra Black here to address this item. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're applying again for our drug court grant The grant monies that we're requesting is over $149,000, again, to have our full-time probation officer staffed, as well as testing supplies, incentives for participants, participant supplies. We give them like notebooks and other things to keep them organized. Graduation refreshments for our large graduations that we have. Some other costs to the defendants, we like to try to cover as much as we can, like their electronic monitoring and testing if we can. And also, we're asking for just a little bit more in our, for our conference as well, just for the local conference.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this item? So Alexandra's going to speak to our next item from the 52nd District Courts, another application for the Michigan Mental Health Court Grant Program. Who would like to make a motion? I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Ginzel. Anything you want to add about the Mental Health Court Grant Program?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's going very well. This is our third application. So the first one, they only gave us a small amount of money because it was a planning grant. And then we get the same amount this last time, but now we are asking them for more money at the quarter because we have added in a liaison from the Community Mental Health, OCHN, and it's going very well. We're going to have our first graduation hopefully in September or October, and we're hoping maybe we can hold it there at the Board of Commissioners Auditorium, because it does encompass, I want to remind everybody, it does encompass all 4 of our district courts. And we do accept transfers from all over, and it's become very successful. We're very proud of this program. So we're asking for more money this time to make sure that we can fund that continued liaison that's been very helpful to the program.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, prompt the vote regarding the district court recommendations, please.
And 5 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Our next item is from the Sheriff's Office. We have one item from the Sheriff's Office. Acceptance from the Michigan Department of State Police for the 2023 Paul Cloverdale Forensic Sciences Improvement Grant Program. Who would like to have a motion by Commissioner Ginzel, support from Commissioner Gershenson, and Under Sheriff and Guy appear here to talk about it.
Good morning. So this is our annual grant acceptance for the Paul Coverdell Grant. This year, we've been awarded $72,877. $42,000 of it is going to purchase opioid testing kits, and the remaining portion provides partial funding for a forensic lab investigator position.
Something important to do. Comments or questions? All right, prompt the vote, please.
You have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
An easy morning for you.
One of our shortest.
Our next 3 items are from Health and Human Services. The first is an amendment to the fiscal year 2023 Emerging Threats Local Health Department Agreement. I would entertain a motion.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. We are on emergency management recommendation. Sorry. Acceptance from the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. So I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson and support from Commissioner Ginzel. Beyond, Tom Hardesty and Rob Seeley.
Yep, Tom had a prior commitment, so it's just Rob Seeley to tell us.
Perfect,
How you doing, Commissioners?
thank you.
So this is, every 5 years, Oakland County is required to do a hazard mitigation plan for the entire county. It encompasses all 62 of our jurisdictions. We go to each jurisdiction, talk about mitigation in their communities and what they can do to help mitigate in the event of a disaster. And there are grants that are available from the federal government in order to fund that process. And we have contracted with a company to do that. That grant came in, normally a FEMA grant is a 75-25 split, but since this is tied to COVID and we are still in a 90-10 split with COVID, they are doing a 90-10 split with this one. So it's a $180,000 grant, 18,000 of which will have to be will be our share, which will be staff time that will be used to cover that $18,000 in-kind match. And that's what this is.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this grant? Commissioner
Yeah, I
Ginzel?
was just gonna say, I love the 90-10 match, saves us some money, but let's put a footnote there, so next year when you come back and it's back to the 75-25, someone's not saying, why are we paying more than 18 grand? So,
This is already done.
got it.
They've already given us the money for this one, so they've already given us $162,000. The next time that we apply for this in 5 years for the next grant, it will probably be back to 75-25.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Anything else? All right, prompt the vote, please. You have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, now on to Health and Human Services recommendations, with the first item being an amendment to fiscal year 2023 Emerging Threats Local Health Department Agreement. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Gershenson. And we have Leanne Stafford and Sarah Stoddard here, or Sarah, to speak to this.
Yes. Hi, Sarah Stoddard here with Oakland County Health Division. This is our number 3 for the Emerging Threats and Local Health Department Agreement. It will be a net increase of $2,317,990,000 that will go to a variety of different grants under those emerging threats categories.
Any questions regarding this grant? Or, I'm sorry, amendment? All right, our next item is an application to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for the renovation of the Medical Examiner's Laboratory. I have a motion by Commissioner Ginzel, support from Commissioner Gershenson. Anything, Sarah, are you speaking to this item also? Thank you.
I am, yeah. Yep, this request is to submit an application in order for us to request funding to renovate the current laboratory over at the medical examiner's office to move the health division lab into that space. So this is a grant application request at this time.
Well, that sounds simple, so, any questions? All right, the last item is from Health and Human Services subrecipient agreement with Catholic Charities Southeast Michigan. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support from Commissioner Powell. All right, we have Carrie here to speak to this one.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, everybody. It's Carrie from the Health Division. We were awarded funding from Michigan Public Health Institute and Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to establish a regional health equity council. So now we're looking to do a subaward to one of our council members, Catholic Charities, who runs La Casa Amiga in Pontiac, to do some resource navigation and social needs screening with their clients.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this item? All right, 3 items under Health and Services recommendations. Would you prompt the vote, please? You have 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Thank you for joining us. Our last agenda item is a public service recommendation from Community Corrections, an application to the Michigan Department of Corrections for the fiscal year 2024 Oakland County Community Corrections Comprehensive Plan. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, who would like to support. Support from Commissioner Gershenson, and we have Eric Schmidt here to talk to this.
Yes, good morning. This is our annual grant application to the Office of Community Corrections with the Michigan Department of Corrections for fiscal year '24 in the amount of $2,242,000 and $678 on the end of it. But that basically supports all of the programming and services that we provide both in community corrections proper as well as jail programming that we provide on an annual basis.
Thank you. Is this the same amount as previous years?
This is an increase in a request, yes, in our application.
Inflation has hit us all. Any other questions or comments? All right, prompt the vote, please.
You have 5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you very much for your support.
Carrie, thank you. I don't see any other business to come to this board. We move on to public comment. Our last public comment of the day. Is there anyone from the public wishing to comment?
Did have a question.
Oh, sure, come up and, well, during public comment, we don't respond. Yes, come up and state your name and community, and you have 3 minutes to talk.
Okay, my name's Matthew Robbins. My children go to Notre Dame Prep, and I was wondering if the additional officer that you were talking about in the beginning, was that for Notre Dame Prep? Okay, we're trying to attain an extra officer at the school, and it's an SRO. It hasn't been on the agenda. I'm just wondering if that's gonna be on the agenda, so.
Thank you.
My last question is, when would we know about that?
We'll talk for a few minutes after the meeting.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
And is there anybody else wishing, Commissioner Nelson?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, it was just a other business, so nothing at public comment.
Okay, anybody else for public comment? All right, public comment is closed. Commissioner Nelson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So one of the questions actually I did have, I know many of us, all of us are getting a lot of emails from individuals across our communities in regards to the school resource officers. Do we have any updates? I would like to be able to provide some information back to some of my constituents I know that have been contacting me about it. And I know this is an item that has been going back and forth for quite some time, but just I want to be able to reach back out to my constituents who are expressing concerns and just wanting an update. So when will we be able to get more information?
Are you talking about the Notre Dame school
Yes,
liaison?
specifically, yes.
Notre Dame. So my understanding is that corporate counsel is looking at a process to make it uniform for all schools, whether it's a public school or a Catholic school or any school, so that there's consistency and fairness, and we're able to provide resources for our children in school. Part of the concern was if it's a business, then a business could ask, and if we do it for one group, how are we gonna deny a business with the staff we have on hand? So we're looking at a process that's uniform, fair, and consistent, and that should happen this summer.
Excellent, thank you.
Commissioner Powell?
And I wanna say, going on record, as the commissioner and actually Commissioner Nelson, we both govern Pontiac, but Notre Dame sits more in my district area. I just wanna let the community know that as your commissioner, I have been in support of an SOR officer being If a school, I don't care if it's private, public, whatever, is in need of somehow of the county stepping up and assisting in some way or form, I've always advocated for us as commissioners to support that type of an ask. So, yes, I hear our chairwoman stating where they're at in the process. Yes, I am fully aware of where we're at in the process, but I wanted to let the Notre Dame family know that that is where I stand as a commissioner. Commissioner Nelson stands with me in that ask. Commissioner Spears, because he governs the district that was hit by or had the incident in Oxford. Us three do stand in support, and we are looking for some success resolution by summer. Thank you.
Commissioner Gershenson?
And I also wanted to add that Corporation Counsel just gave us an opinion last week. So although it seems like it's been going on forever, we just got that opinion as well as an independent opinion. And a letter is being drafted that will explain our position that we will send to you, I would imagine, maybe this week at the latest next week. There have just been a lot of issues. This is the first time this has ever come to us. And every time Corporation Counsel looks at one thing, several other questions come up. And so we are really proceeding in good faith. All of us really do want to resolve this, but we have to understand our liability. There's a lot of questions involved legally that are beyond most of us at this table. So that's where it has been, is Corporation Counsel, and it's gone back to Corporation Counsel. But it's my understanding there will be a letter written to the concerned parties soon.
I think the big concern, if I can say something, is to make sure we have something in place by the start of the next school year.
Yes.
We all hope that.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, seeing nothing else, the meeting is adjourned at 11:15. Thank you, everybody.
Penny?